How to be a Stoic. Let's go over 3 practical and incredibly powerful exercises that the Stoics utilized to live the good life. The first one is explained in Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, and it's often called a view from above. Marcus said, "You can rid yourself of many useless things among those that disturb you, for they lie entirely in your imagination, and you will then gain for yourself ample space by comprehending the whole universe in your mind, and by contemplating the eternity of time and observing the rapid change of every part of everything. How short is the time from birth to dissolution, and the illimitable time before birth as well as the equally boundless time after dissolution." So how do we do this exercise? Let's say something is disturbing you. Let's say you just got rejected by someone, or you just got fired from your job, or someone's insulted you. But whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is, something is disturbing you and you're having a conflict in your mind right now. What you're going to do is you're going to see yourself in the third person from above. And then you're going to zoom out. So the first zoom, the first magnitude, you might see yourself from the roof. You zoom out again. You might see the building where you are at, and you might see the street. Zoom out again. You might see your city, the suburb you live in. Zoom out again. You might see the state that you live in. Keep zooming out until you see the country that you're at. Zooming out until you see the world. Zoom out some more until you see the moon. Keep zooming till you see Jupiter. The point of this exercise is you're going to comprehend the scale of the universe. You're going to keep yourself in the center and use your imagination to envision the scale of the universe. Envision what other people are doing. Envision people being born, people having their issues, people dying. You're going to envision all the things that could possibly happen in the scale of the universe throughout time. And what this is going to help you do is put your problem in perspective. When you envision or contemplate the scale of the universe, whatever was bothering you loses significance due to the relative scale. You then understand that things only bother you when you put significance on them, when you forget about the scale of the universe, when you forget about how meaningless most things are. That's when things can get to you. When you get stuck in your own view, your own first person perspective of life, it's very easy to get incredibly attached to things. So zoom out and take a view of the world. The second exercise is called negative visualization. Now Seneca said, "We should love our dear ones, but always with the thought that we have no promise that we may keep them forever. Nay, no promise even that we may keep them for long." Negative visualization is not an exercise that's gleam or dark. It's an exercise that's going to help us celebrate life. It's going to help us become more grateful for what we do have. When you negatively visualize, you visualize what it would feel like in detail to lose things in your life, things that you often take for granted. So what would it be like to not have shoes? What would it be like to not have clean drinking water? What would it be like to not have a roof over your head? What would it be like to lose your loved ones? What would it be like to lose your social standing? What would it feel like to be exiled from your country? What would it feel like to lose your freedom? What would it feel like to lose your arm or your leg or be disabled? What would it feel like to lose your memory? It's basically contemplating things that could happen but haven't happened. Once again, it's not a fixation on the dark. When you contemplate these things, it draws attention to how lucky you are, because in reality, all these things are within the realms of possibility. You could lose your house, you could lose your arm, you could lose your social standing. All these things are possible, but you haven't lost them so far. So it makes you grateful. Also, it gets you ready for the reality of actually losing one of these things if it does happen. Because you have contemplated it before, when the event does happen, it won't be as bad, it won't be as devastating. Negative visualization teaches us about the impermanence of things. Many people are under the false assumption that their life is going to stay as it is forever, that the loved ones they have in their life are going to be there forever, or the job they have, they're going to keep it forever. In reality, things are transient, things change. You don't own anything, everything is borrowed. So negative visualization helps you remember that fact every single day if you practice it daily. So that's the second exercise. Okay, the next exercise is called voluntary discomfort, and this is what Epictetus had to say about it. But neither a bull nor a noble-spirited man comes to be what he is all at once. He must undertake hard winter training and prepare himself, and not propel himself rashly into what is not appropriate to him. Okay, voluntary discomfort is a way of making yourself tougher. It's mental training, it's physical training. You're basically going to do things that are a bit uncomfortable so that you can get ready for when you need to face a situation later on. You never know when shit's going to hit the fan and you're going to need to toughen yourself up. So a Stoic who practices voluntary discomfort, there's a number of things they can do. In the morning, instead of taking a nice, warm, comforting shower, you can take a cold shower. Instead of sleeping on your bed all the time, you can have one day a week where you sleep on the floor. Instead of eating McDonald's and KFC all day, you can have a day where you fast the whole day. Instead of exercising at 3 p.m. when it's comfortable, you can exercise at 6 a.m. Instead of going to sleep at 10, you might sleep at 1 and continue doing work. All these things are voluntary discomfort. It's basically teaching yourself to not put too much stock in feeling uncomfortable. A lot of people fail at their goals because as soon as they feel some discomfort, they give up. For a Stoic, feeling discomfort does not mean anything. Feeling at unease does not mean anything. Everything is about virtue. And if you want to live a virtuous life, you're going to have to overcome the adversity of feeling uncomfortable. You're going to have to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So that's the whole point of voluntary discomfort. You're training yourself up for the hard winters that will definitely come in the future. Okay guys, so those are the 3 Stoic exercises I have for you for this video. If you practice these exercises, I guarantee that your life will be better. Stoicism is an incredibly practical philosophy and has survived the test of time because of how effective it is. So take these exercises seriously and go out there and dominate.